use them. So we're gonna go through a couple more today, right? All right, and I'll turn you over to the thinking map people.
Thank you. Okay, so I would like for you to think about our last thinking map training that we had in November and see if you can recall the two maps that we taught you.
No idea what they were called, but I can draw them.
Oh, you can draw them. Can you like air draw them for
There
me?
was like the circle.
Double.
That had a circle and then frame.
Okay, and so you said the
And then-
key word there.
Circle map.
There you go. That was
Okay.
one of them.
And then there was the other one was there was like a comparison thing,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it was called double bubble.
It was called a
And
double
so the things that they had in common kind of went here, and then things they didn't
Yes,
have in common.
and I think Kim said it, the double bubble. Oh, sorry,
I stole it
Lori.
from her.
Lori said it. Yes.
Her
Okay.
voice is going, so I helped.
Something that you pointed out for us, Nisa, is that if you go to the next slide for me. Okay, so
Yay!
okay, is this what you were kind of thinking of? Okay. Is that in a minute we're gonna just kind of talk about what thinking maps are, but one of the things that is critical to a thinking map is that they are visual patterns. And I think that's so evident because you said, I can't remember their names, but I know what they look like. And that's really one of the key components behind thinking maps is that they are visual patterns. So that worked in just beautifully. Thank you. Yes.
One question though, when Tricia was showing us the first one, the circle map, she was saying to be really careful with the kids to not let them write somewhere and that they always wanted to go right there. What was that again? Where you first, like the first time you ever had them do it?
You don't want them to limit what they write. So
Right.
you don't want them to circle their circle in first. They want to write the topic and circle around it.
Okay.
And because if you make them draw it all out first, then you're closing the parameters, and it takes away the freedom and the thought process behind that.
Okay, so it sounded to me like that was something important, especially when you're having them do it that first time.
Yeah.
If they're not drawing that sort of, so like in the center there, it says in green, fire safety. When they were doing this in your class, they would have just written the word fire safety.
Topic.
They never would have circled that. At what point?
No, they would have circled it.
Then
the
they could circle
topic.
it after they wrote
They
the
circle
topic.
it after they write it.
Okay.
Because it gets that way they're not limited. Otherwise, you're just going to give them something else.
Okay. And what about the second circle? Do we let them draw that, or is that after they've written everything?
It's the same process,
Okay.
really. It's the freedom of how big you want to write it, and
Okay.
it's how much words you're going to put into it. It's
Okay, thank you. I just wanted that clarification. I knew it was something specific.
Yep. And so then the same thing would apply with your double bubble. You would write the word soccer, then put the circle around it. You would write dribble with feet, then put the circle, and so on.
Okay.
So that way, like she says, you're not limiting them, you're not confining them.
Well, I think that's really smart because I know how I write, and I probably did, when I did this, I probably did the circles on the double bubble, and then my printing is not real small, and I'm going on with this, the line, and now I'm frustrated because it looks messy, and yeah, so that's way smarter.
Yep, perfect. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so our objective today is to learn about two new maps. The first one is called just bubble map, and then the second one is called the flow map. Click. Thank you. All right, so let's review what thinking maps are and why they work. Next slide, please. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, they are based on visual patterns. There are 8 visual patterns that are related to the 8 cognitive skills. And as I said, Nisa pointed that out very well. Oh, I can't remember the name, but I can see the picture. You're giving directions. Like, I'm the worst. I can never remember the name of the street. But if I get in the car and I just drive, visually I know exactly where I'm going. So that visual part is so key. The other thing about thinking maps and why they're so effective is that you can use them individually and you can use them in combination. Some of you probably saw in the 7th, 8th grade wing, there were some maps that had multiple thinking maps used to describe
later classes. Yeah, I
Okay. But they were used in combination. They can be used at every grade level, including our little bitty babies and preschool. They can use them. They just use pictures instead of words. And all the way up to, obviously, post high school. This is basically what I just said. Visual patterns, all content areas, all teachers can use them. So no one is really held back by them. Everybody can use them. Okay, so why do they work? As we said, our ability to learn visually is greater than any of our other senses. So we've established that. 80% of all information that comes into our brain is visual. Okay? And they provide a common visual language in classrooms and in schools. So what's the key word or the main word that's popping out there? Visual. Okay. I have a little personal story that I just have to share really quickly about why they do work. So this year I've been working with thinking maps with my 9th grade class. And a few weeks ago, I was in a music appreciation class at the high school. And she was getting ready to have them compare and contrast the Baroque time period with the Renaissance period. And she had them do 3 columns. And so it was Baroque, Renaissance, and then similarities in the middle. And some of you may remember lovely little Kyle Breitling. Remember? Did you have him? Yeah. Okay. So he's mine. He's my baby. He turns around. He looks at me and goes, Miss Bishop, we could use a double bubble for this. And I was like, and so it was like, I still talk about it and I get chills because I was like, yay! It's working. It's working. And you can see that he was able to make that connection. That, I'm comparing and contrasting, and that's what the purpose is of a double bubble. Okay. Click. All right, so we're going to move on. I'm going to talk about the bubble map, and then Trisha's going to talk about the flow map today. All right, the bubble map, when we were taught this back in June, we were actually taught that the bubble map is the most difficult map to teach, to learn, to manipulate, and it doesn't seem like it, because when we show you an example of what it looks like, you think, why is that difficult to teach? When you start creating your own today, you will see why it's difficult. The purpose of the bubble map is for describing, and you can be describing any content. What's most important and what makes it kind of difficult is that you may only use adjectives or adjective phrases. And this is where the difficulty comes in, because if you say, describe Dawn.
Easy.
And I say, oh, teacher. That's incorrect, because teacher is not an adjective. Teacher is a noun. Now, I could say,
Funny teacher.
yeah, well,
Hilarious.
I could say, yes, hilarious, and that would work, or intelligent, and that would work, but I can't use a noun. So you'll see, it gets to be really difficult. It gets challenging, okay? Things that you want to emphasize when you're teaching this to your students is tell them to look for those sensory images. So I tell my students, what do you see, what do you hear, what do you feel? Look for logical and emotional qualities. So, what kind of qualities would describe Dawn logically, in an adjective form, or emotionally? She's caring. She's Southern, thank you, yes, okay, things like that. Okay. These are some keywords that you would want to display when you're teaching the bubble map, and use these to guide your students. So describe the character, describe the element, describe the battle, use vivid language, and this is where I love to implement BYOD, because I tell them, go to thesource.com and you can start getting some more of that vivid language. So it's nice how I can tie in the BYOD. Use your 5 senses, see, smell, so on. Qualities, attributes, characteristics, properties. Okay, so let's look at examples. And like I said, when you look at it, it looks really simple. This is very basic. Okay, so I have my topic in the middle. Yeah, manganese, 25. This is foreign language to me, but anyways, manganese. And then notice that this person is describing this element, right? Okay, so it's brittle, it's plentiful, it's silver, it's gray, it's metallic. All of those are adjectives. If I put element, ooh, that's a noun. I guess I could put elemental, right? Or wait, is that even a word?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, okay.
Oops, wrong way.
Wrong way. This is a nice one. This is Kim. This is Gio. Kandinsky's composition, the fourth. So you can see it's musical, bright colors, intense colors, diagonal movement, repeated shapes, rhythmic. And what this person has done is they've implemented the use of color. So here you have the formal elements in blue, and then the sensory elements in pink purple, which is a nice way to tie in that color too. And then what happens is when you take it to writing, you can tell your students that they're going to write 2 paragraphs, one where they talk about just the sensory qualities, and then the second paragraph where they talk about just the formal elements. So you can see how there is that, this is definitely a connection to writing.
Oh, before that one goes away.
Yes.
Sorry.
The way it says intense colors, I know that colors is a noun, but intense is the adjective modifying
And
the noun.
yeah, I
So
know. And so
That makes it
I
adjective
personally,
Are we?
It's an adjective phrase.
Okay, is that we're gonna
Well,
call?
it's-
It's
that's what-
not, but it's
technically it's not an adjective phrase.
No.
Well,
It would have to be intensely colored.
oh, okay. You say
Yeah,
you want
but
adverb?
intense colors,
Intensely is an adverb, isn't it?
it is, but it's still, it's not an adjective phrase. Yeah.
Well, I
Don't,
got this.
if you don't know what an adjective phrase is, just don't go there.
Well-
Because honestly, because we don't want to give our children the wrong information.
Well, I got this off Lincoln Maps.
I know, and it's a mistake.
On theirs?
I personally, okay, the English teacher in me is like,
Yeah, I'm on
no,
that.
I think, yeah.
And this is
okay,
why I taught.
yeah. Okay, so, yeah, and only Darcy caught it? No, that's good. You know what we learned from this? Don't use adjective phrases. Tell your students to just use adjectives. That's what I do with my kids, okay? Just don't let them go there. Okay, this is a better example.
Except violent terrorist.
Here we have, obviously John Brown, okay? Which is fine, you're down, yeah.
And we're
In the middle can be a noun, yes, okay. And so we have, don't look at visionary. We have brave, charismatic, heroic, kind, committed. Just don't look at visionary, okay. So all of those are adjectives. What I would rather you see right here is, what's nice about this is that you can have your students do 2 bubble maps, two bubble maps. One through the point of view of a northern abolitionist. So obviously the northerners are going to say positives. And then you turn around and you have them do the bubble map through the point of view of a southern slave owner. So the point of view is going to be starkly different there. And then once again, how do we take this to writing? So we have a paragraph where we talk about the northern view. We have a second paragraph where we talk about the southern view, or we have one where you just interchange. Okay, so questions about that? All right, next slide. Okay, you are going to need one piece of paper and something to write with. Everyone's going to need their own piece of paper. There should be some on the table in front of you. If you do not have enough,
So like this would be, because that started bothering me, so I looked it up. You think like having a
That's not what I think. Well, I want to make sure I'm right and you're right. Because a lot of those examples we saw, they have, like something terrorist, violent terrorists. I got another one. You didn't change anything. No, I just changed the sequencing. Girl.
oh, well,
Well, this is my old one. No, this is my old one. I did. Adjectives, phrases. You might have just, did you look that up on several websites?
I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. So your assignment is you are going to practice.
Wait. Oh, you put that first? Okay.
You are going to practice creating a bubble map describing yourself. So as you can see, Mrs. Smith went ahead and used adjectives to describe me. She said, huh?
We were arguing about a noun again, sorry.
Which one?
Curly hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
But it's
adjective.
it's an adjective, yeah, but it's, never mind, we won't bring it. It's her fault.
Okay, anyways, she said I was exceptionally intelligent.
I didn't put that, I swear.
Dominant? I don't know about that.
Freak.
Yeah, obviously it's Mrs. Smith. So, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing, but about yourself, yes.
You can push this.
So in,
This one.
oh, okay.
That one goes back.
So you're going to write your name, and then put a circle around it. And then you are going to list adjectives or adjective phrases that describe you. And then circle it. And if you would like to use your device, to look up adjectives so that you can be a little more vivid, please feel free to take out your device.
I want to know what an adjective phrase is. Because I got to look like I know this for myself.
How long do I get?
Oh, you get 3 minutes on your devices.
That's all.
Exhausted.
List of adjectives.
Oh, I like exhausted better.
Yes, remember that you want to use vivid words. That's why the device is nice. Device is nice. Lori, come on now. Athletic.
Adorable, adventurous, aggressive, or attractive, average, found, beautiful,
Aggressive.
blue-eyed, bloody, blushing, bright, clean, clear, cloudy, colorful, crowded, dark, drab, distinct,
Let's
dull,
see.
excited, fancy,
Ooh, I like that.
then with appearance from teenage, gleaming, gorgeous, fancy, homely, light, long, magnificent.
See, Mr. Bitterman did something interesting that you can try with your students as well, is describe yourself only using one letter of the alphabet.
I chose C.
Wow.
I'm going with C.
Zany?
Zany.
Yes.
Since I couldn't be freaky.
You can be mercurial.
Thespian.
Oh, thespian.
Thespian.
Thespian, yeah, thespian, like.
Curious, different, hopeful, doubtful, easy, expensive, famous, fragile, frail, gifted, helpful, helpless,
Nothing?
horrible, important,
Yeah, there we go.
expensive,
I was gonna say, I don't think I'll repeat those.
odd, open, outstanding, poor, powerful, exception, puzzle, crazy, puzzle.
I'm feeling a little prickly tonight.
Sleepy, stupid, super,
That's what I'm
talented,
saying.
tame,
Well, yeah, you're
tough,
like,
yeah, wandering wild,
I know,
wrong.
I'm prickly.
Feelings. Well, here we have feelings. Angry, annoyed, anxious, arrogant, ashamed, awful, sad, bewildered, black, bored,
Look,
clumsy,
Lisa,
bad,
experienced teacher, funny teacher,
crazy.
happy
Okay,
teacher.
what's that? Creepy, cruel, dangerous, defeated, defiant, depressed, disgusting, discouraged,
What side did you go to?
embarrassing,
I don't know.
fierce, foolish, frantic,
Oh, I think
Right.
like dictionary.
Let's call Paulette.
helpless,
Palette.
homeless,
Not even a cat.
hurt, ill,
That's not where I went.
jealous,
What did you call it? Well, it was sore, something sore.
I went to this one.
bitchy, jealous, jittery, lazy, lonely, mysterious, nasty, naughty, nervous, nutty, obnoxious, contagious,
What? Where?
scary, selfish, sore,
fairly bored, unbelievable. Okay, just because all these have LY does not mean that these are. I think it's okay because when we did them there, the kind of things I was putting, she said was fine. I mean, if it's a word describing a noun, like happy teacher, unhappy teacher, all that's okay.
But
As long
if
as
you
it's
put
just,
unhappy, that'd be okay, but you can't put unhappy teacher.
why not? That's an adjective phrase. Yes, it is.
I have inquisitive, crazy, puzzled,
Look,
sore.
how come you say that's not? I mean, it was a fairly bored, so bored.
Okay, so fairly, all right.
Every time we go to stand
You
up.
don't think?
I don't know.
Let's do more research.
Okay. Are we, okay, so 3 minutes is up.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Let's just do more research. No, I don't know. I just. That's just gonna bug me, so I know, it's gonna bug me too now. And you know, the best thing to do probably is just to say, do the, just the adjectives. Because this is confusing. That's what I'm saying, it's, yeah.